Unconditioned, bootlegger, score like a banger.
All right, listeners, welcome back for another deep dive. This time we're going across the pond to jolly old England for a bit of footy.
I like it.
And today's deep dive is inspired by a song from an album called Welcome to London, Bruv by a musician named Kurt Holes. And the song is called A Bit of Footy. So we're going to be diving into the song, not so much from a musical perspective, but from a lyrical perspective.
All right.
And looking at how this song really captures the essence of British football culture.
Sounds good.
The passion, the drama, the excitement. So let's just jump right in.
Let's do it.
The song opens up talking about a bootlegger and Beckham undercover wanger. So, I mean, obviously Beckham, I think anybody who knows anything about football, even if they just casually know who David Beckham is.
Yeah.
But this bootlegger thing, I was like, what is a bootlegger?
So a bootlegger is kind of a quintessential British football term, and it basically refers to the kind of player who scores goals with a certain panache. And it's not just about the quantity of goals, it's about the style. The audacity, the almost rebellious nature of the goals they score.
So not just a goal scorer.
No.
But like a special type of goal scorer.
Absolutely. These are the players who make the impossible seem possible.
They
defy expectations and leave fans in awe.
And so it sounds like, too, that it's not even necessarily like the Messis and the Ronaldos of the world.
It's not about being the best player in the world necessarily. It's about embodying a certain spirit, a certain flair. And connecting with the fans in a way that transcends just pure talent.
So who are some players that come to mind then?
Well, you think about players like Ian Wright. Or Robbie Fowler. These are players who weren't necessarily the most technically gifted. But they had this knack for scoring incredible goals, often from seemingly impossible positions. And they became cult heroes because of it.
Got it. So this bootlegger really is like a special...
It's a special breed.
Kind of player, yeah. And so I guess what the song is kind of saying is that even though Beckham, this global icon, is, undercover, is still a bootlegger.
He still has that element to his game.
Gotcha.
He could score those spectacular goals that would leave you shaking your head.
Now, the song also mentions some of the less glamorous aspects of football, with lines like, refs blind as a bat.
Yes.
And dodging tackles, dodging scandals. So obviously it's touching upon like the refs, the controversial calls, diving, which is always a hot topic in football.
It wouldn't be British football without a good referent. I mean, let's be honest, referees are an easy target. They have an incredibly difficult job trying to make split-second decisions in the heat of the moment with thousands of fans screaming at them. And of course, mistakes happen, and that's when the drama really unfolds.
And then there's diving, which the song describes as taking dives with artistry.
Yeah, that line always makes me chuckle.
So how do you view diving?
It's a tricky one, isn't it? Some see it as a clever tactic, a way to gain an advantage. Others see it as cheating, plain and simple. And there's probably a whole spectrum of opinions in between.
So it's really a gray area.
I think so, and it's one of those things that sparks endless debate.
So it sounds like it's really just part of the game.
It's part of the theater, of it, all the highs and lows, the controversy.
And I think that really leads into the next thing I wanted to touch on, which is just the overall cultural significance of football in Britain.
Like
it's more than just a game.
Absolutely.
It's like a religion to some people.
It's a way of life.
And the song kind of captures that with lines like, pints before the game, and then post-match analysis, bloke never the same.
Yeah, it paints this vivid picture, doesn't it, of the match day ritual, the pregame anticipation, the camaraderie, the shared experience of victory or defeat.
And it doesn't even matter if it's like a Premier League match or like a Sunday League game. Like this whole ritual exists across all levels of football.
It's ingrained in the culture, From the local pub to the massive stadiums. It's a shared passion that brings people together.
And that's what I love about that line. From grassroots legends to nations in elation.
It really captures the essence of the English football pyramid, doesn't it?
It does. So can you break that down a little bit for our listeners who might not be familiar?
Sure. So you've got this incredible system
Okay.
where you have local amateur teams at the bottom, and then it progresses up through various leagues and divisions all the way to the top, which is, of course, the Premier League.
Right, and it's not just about the professional level.
No, not at all.
Right.
The grassroots level is just as important. It's where the passion is nurtured.
Okay.
Where young players develop their skills and where communities come together to support their local team.
And it's so unique to England, too, this pyramid system.
It really is. You don't see that same structure in many other countries.
Yeah.
And it creates this incredible pathway for players to rise through the ranks.
You also have the FA Cup.
Ah, yes, the FA Cup.
Which is like a whole other
The magic of the FA Cup.
level of excitement.
It's all about the upsets.
Right.
Underdog stories.
Like you could have a tiny team from like the lowest levels of the pyramid.
Absolutely.
Playing against like Manchester United.
And that's what makes it so captivating.
And it happens.
It does.
Like we see those upsets all the time.
It's the cup dream, that chance for a small team to have their moment in the spotlight.
It's incredible.
It's what football is all about.
Now, the song also mentions VAR, confusion, technology delusion.
Oh, yes. The VAR debate.
So for people who don't know, VAR is the video assistant referee.
Exactly.
And it's been a pretty controversial addition to football.
It has.
So could you just explain a little bit about what VAR is and why it's been so controversial?
Sure. So VAR was introduced to help referees make more accurate decisions.
Okay.
By using video replays.
So if there's a close call,
right,
like a potential offside goal or a penalty incident,
right,
the referee can consult with the VAR officials who are watching replays,
okay,
and they can make a decision based on the video evidence.
So in theory, it sounds like a good idea.
In theory, it should improve the accuracy of decisions.
Right.
But in practice, it's been a bit more complicated.
And why is that?
Well, for one thing, it can slow down the game.
Okay.
You have these long pauses while the VAR officials are reviewing footage.
Right.
And it can disrupt the flow and the emotion of the game.
Okay.
And there have also been some controversial VAR decisions where people have argued that the technology was misinterpreted or used incorrectly.
Yeah, it feels like sometimes a goal is disallowed for like a toenail being offside.
Exactly. And it can feel a bit pedantic.
Yeah.
Like it's taking away from the spirit of the game.
So is VAR good or bad for the game?
It's a tough question.
Yeah.
There are valid arguments on both sides.
Right.
I think it's still evolving.
And we're still figuring out how to use it effectively.
So it's a really interesting debate.
It is.
And it's something that's definitely changing the game. So to kind of wrap things up here, we've really gone on a journey through the world of British football.
We have.
Through the lens of this song, A Bit of Footy. And we've seen how this song really encapsulates the passion, the drama, the history,
the beauty,
the controversy of this beautiful game.
Absolutely.
And it really leaves us with a lot to think about.
It does.
Like, what is it about football that makes it such a powerful force in British culture and beyond? And how is technology changing the game that we love?
It's an ever-evolving sport.
It is.
And I think these are questions that will continue to be debated for years to come.
So we'd love to hear your thoughts. Let us know what you think about the role of football in society and the impact of technology on the game. And until next time, enjoy your next bit of footy.
Cheers.
To nations in elation, bit of footy getting gritty in the nitty of the city. Ball roll stadium where echoes in the litty. Celebration mad, gaffers in a tizzy. Club dreams, glory scenes, apprentices to wizards.